hope when the moment comes, you say,
Okay, Miss Chapman, welcome
I
back.
did it
It is back
all.
around this channel. It's Chapman, dude.
I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
12 weeks ago, I decided to train for and run my first postpartum race, a 10K race. And at the time, I was really just starting to start running again postpartum consistently, and we did it. It's done. Race day complete with an all-time 10K PR. So let's do a little race day recap. If you're new here, hi, I'm Alessandra. Welcome to my channel. I'm a mom. I like to run. I like to lift. I own 2 businesses in the fitness space. I recently just completed my first postpartum race. Decided on a 10K to start just because 12 weeks ago I was really not doing any consistent running. I was sprinkling it in here and there. I think the most I had done at that point was 2 or 3 miles and super slow pace. Prior to that, I was really just focused on increasing my strength again postpartum, really just getting back to feeling good in my body. And I decided on a whim to kind of just train for a race and have some specific concrete goals to train for. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what I did to prep for this, including training, including what I did on race day, how it went, what I focused on, fuel, all of that, and then what my upcoming goals are next. A lot of you have been following this journey with the weekly YouTube videos over the last 12 weeks. So a lot of this has been documented, but I just thought it would be fun to do a full recap now that the race is over. So official results, I ran the race in 52 minutes and 11 seconds, which was an 8:24 pace, which honestly felt so good. This was my first real race that I trained for in 10 years. So I have previously done a 20K, I've previously done a couple half marathons, a bunch of 5Ks. That was all pre-babies, and then I really just dove headfirst into powerlifting after that, so kind of just took a little hiatus from running and racing. And then in 2021, I signed up for this race that I just did this past weekend on a whim. I was not running at all, kind of just did it with my friend for ha-has. So I don't even really count that as like a serious race that I trained for because I didn't train for it. And in 2021, when I ran this race, really cool to kind of compare. I think just this is the same exact race, 3 years difference. Obviously, one was trained and one was untrained in the sport of running. So my untrained time was 1 hour and 2 minutes with a 10-minute pace. That was literally just like pushing as hard as I could with my friend that day, and just going for it without really ever. I think I ran maybe 3 or 4 times leading up to that one. Don't recommend. Versus this time, obviously trained for it 12 weeks, did 3 runs a week for 12 weeks on top of my strength work, and I was able to run it in 52 minutes, 11 seconds with an 8:24 pace. So kind of cool to see the differences there with the exact same course, just comparing being trained and not being trained. Moral of that story is if you want to run a race, train for it. It will make a difference. So this race was pretty speedy for me right now where I'm at this point. I actually ended up hitting a lot of best efforts on Strava. I'll put it up on the screen here. So let's talk about the prep for this, what I did. As mentioned, I trained for 12. You might hear some chicken noises in the background because the chickens are right back there in that little house, so sorry if you hear them. But what I did for this, obviously trained for 12 weeks. I did 4 lifts per week, upper lower split. That really was a well-rounded program that focused on plyometrics, mobility, and general strength and power. Our build program in the app, and then I did 3 runs per week, which I followed our Extend program in the app. We currently have 2 running programs in the app for beginners. We have the Begin program, which is kind of like a couch to 5K, and then we have the Extend program, which is once you complete the first one, or if you can run 30 minutes straight, you can start with the 10K program, which is Extend. So that's what I followed. It was only 3 times per week. It has 1 short to medium length run per week, speed workout, and then a long run on the weekends. So I did nothing else as far as cross training on top of that cardio. And that was really the gist of my training this whole time. I did take 1 full week off of training when we went to Florida in April. other than that, I was very consistent with the whole program. All right, moving into actual race weekend. So a question I got was, what did I eat the night before to prepare for the race? We actually went out to dinner in Mystic, where the race was, the night before at an Italian restaurant, and I got a chicken dish. It was like chicken piccata. So basic protein, carb, fat, vegetable. It had potatoes with it, and then we got ice cream sundaes there. They were so good. Brownie ice cream sundae. So definitely carb loaded a little bit there, but that's what I ate the night before. It wasn't my typical meal. I probably wouldn't do that again just because it was like, we don't eat out often at all. And I know that I feel better when I eat foods that I'm eating all the time. So I actually would not recommend going out to eat the night before, because also it messed with Josh. Like, he woke up sick the next day. He didn't even run because he was not feeling well, probably from what we ate. So definitely would not recommend doing that. We did go to bed early. I was in bed by, I would say, 9:30, asleep by 9:30. So I got a good sleep the night before, even though we had to wake up early for this race. One thing that was very helpful was I literally got everything possible ready for our early departure the next day. We live about 40 minutes from where this race was, so we just woke up and went. We brought the kids with us though, so they had to wake up early. I got all their stuff ready the night before. I packed Cora's diaper bag. I packed what Kai would need for his race, laid out his clothes, laid out her clothes, so that when we got them up in the morning, we could just throw them in the car and go. That was super helpful. I also laid out my clothes the night before, as well as everything I would possibly need for the next morning. So I filled my water, my electrolytes the night before. I laid out what I was going to eat so it was ready to go. Every single thing was just boom, 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 wake up, didn't have to think about it. And that was very key, because you don't want to be stressed out on race day. All right, race day is here. My alarm was set for 5:15. I woke up at like 4:45 because I was just excited, like nerves. So I got up right away, got ready, look good, feel good. We already talked about that in the last video. Got dressed, got ready, got all my stuff together. And then I popped an English muffin in the toaster. I had that with some honey on it at like 5:30, so an hour and a half before race started. And then about 30 minutes before the race started, I had a Humagel strawberry packet. So didn't go crazy with food. I didn't want to do anything out of the ordinary. The biggest tip I can give you as far as fuel goes on race day is to be consistent with what you usually eat, because you don't want to try anything new, have any new gels, have any new things that your body is just not used to on race day, because you just don't know how you're going to respond to it. So stick with the basics, stick what you know works for you. Don't change it up, because usually that's just not a good idea. So I ate that. I had about half of this of water and electrolytes. One of my element packets I put in here, and that was it. That's all I used for fuel. I did not fuel intra race, because for this distance it's a 10K, so I knew I was going to finish under an hour or around an hour-ish. You don't need to fuel at that point. You really want to start thinking about fueling during your workout when you're getting into longer workouts. So about 90 minutes or more is when you're going to need to start fueling for those longer runs. We're just not there yet right now. So I didn't need to have any gels or anything during. I did take a couple water cups throughout the race, which I don't normally drink water at that distance, even when I'm training here for my long runs. Like, I just don't bring it with me. I'll have it before and after. But I was feeling like I wanted it. It is so hard to drink water out of an open cup while you're running. The first one I grabbed, I probably looked like a total noob. I took a sip and like choked on it and was coughing, so that was fun, and I just threw it down. And then I stopped at the second station and I got a little bit more down, but I like spilled it all over me. So note to self, me and open water cups just do not the vibe. If you have any tips, let me know in the comments, because I must be missing something. I didn't want to stop to drink. I don't know. Anywho, so that's all I had during it. And then right afterwards, I had a banana that I had to share with Cora, because she is eating everything in sight right now. We got donuts because they have the best donut shop in Mystic, and then we had a normal breakfast once we got home. So nothing crazy, just a post-race donut and a banana. What I wore, obviously, you guys, if you watched the previous video, you saw this, but I've been loving Expntl Athletics. I wore their shorts and sports bra for this race. I was just gonna wear the sports bra, but then I realized that I didn't have enough fabric to clip my bib on, which I probably should have just clipped it onto my shorts thinking back now. So I just threw on a very cheapo tank over it, but that was perfect. It was so comfy for race day. I love their shorts. I love their whole line. Caitlin Miller is the CEO, and I love that she is a runner. She is a marathon runner herself, so she knows like what is going to work, what people want when it comes to running specific clothing. Just the way they fit, the way they feel, the pockets that are available in her clothes. It's super high quality, and they're just cute. I love them. They're a current fave. I'll do a full video recap of some upcoming pieces that I have coming soon. And then the shoes I wore, I told you guys in the last video, the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4s. I don't know that I would wear those again after running in them. They definitely were responsive and like more of a speed shoe, but I almost felt like I don't know, my feet definitely were a little more sore than they typically are when I run my long runs in my Hokas. So I might try something new for future races. They weren't my favorite. All right, another question I got was, when was Kai's race? Some people thought Kai ran the 10K with me. If my 4-year-old ran a 10K, we better be prepping for the Olympics or something. He did the kids run. A lot of the bigger races offer kids run, so a 1K. This one was a quarter mile or a half mile, and he crushed it. He had so much fun. I shared the video on Instagram, but his race was after mine. So my race started at 7. His started at 9, so I finished mine around 8. We got to chill for a little while, meet a bunch of our SD Evolution app members and friends, and hang out with everybody. I didn't get to meet all of them, but I did meet a good group of them afterwards, and it was just so cool and so awesome to finally meet you guys who have been with us for so long. So we hung out for a little bit, and then it was time for Kai to run. He was so pumped. He was like total game face. He like didn't want to talk to me. He was just focused on like running, and it was so cute. And as soon as he was done, he said he wanted to do another race, which made me so happy and proud. I did get a question on like how to stay motivated after a race, which I think is important because a lot of people, especially if you're racing often or do a lot of bigger races, you tend to get like post-race blues is a thing. Like you're training so hard and for so long towards this goal, and then it happens and it's like, well, now what do I do? And that's why I think so many runners just continuously sign up for more races after. So I did sign up for my half that I'm doing in October. That will be October 19th. I have some time before I have to like officially start training for that. TBD, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna do a full marathon this year too. 85% chance that is happening. I will keep you guys posted on that, but the half marathon training will start soon. I am gonna really focus on strength and do some speed work for the next month or two, just leading into that, and then it's go time. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I would be happy to share. Stay tuned for more videos. We're just gonna keep the weekly videos going as I continue this training, keeping you guys looped in with everything. A lot of you guys gave me really great feedback that you like more of the vlog style videos opposed to these sit down ones, so noted. I will keep those coming. We'll do some more nutrition stuff soon too, like some full day of eating videos and all that. I did just recently up my calories more, so lots to talk about, but let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.